Do you know? It's cute, isn't it? It might be one of the estate cottages being converted. Very cute. Yeah. Watch out for these two, Ash. Golly.
What about this one?
Yeah, and this one. And that one crossing the street. Hold on. Oh, I thought she was going to cross the street. She's just having a...
stuck.
What about this one? Mr. Can't park at the house. Please don't park on the road or the grass.
What about this
fountain
one?
On. She's walking down the road.
Thank you. You might want to get off the road.
It looks beautiful since they cleaned it, doesn't it?
Little gibbings.
It would be interesting to know how many visitors they get a year, because I think it's enormous.
Pity.
The front door is open, I think.
Do you know how to do the goose?
Not well.
Prepare to turn right and then turn left.
I've been up the Belvedere. Did you know?
Have you been up the Belvedere elevator?
Yeah.
On other cards, turn right and then turn left.
So they've repainted those before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's
Yeah,
fine. So
alright.
when you're ready, if you go down that drive there,
Yes.
and they'll sort you out with a ticket for the house.
Perfect. Right.
All right,
Thank
have
you
a
very
good day.
much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
She said discount, so you must, like...
You do get a discount on parking if you book online the day before. I know you do.
No, she said discount on your ticket, though. You get a discount, like...
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, this is disabled and wedding guests.
Can we park here with these?
I think it's this whole row.
It was one of our last 3 days in the UK before we had even decided to go on this trip. Mum said to me, "Are we going to Chatsworth?" And I was a little bit silly, and I said I wasn't too bothered as we'd been a few times, and it seemed very, very silly to go again. And then with 3 days to go, I changed my mind, as you do. So we woke up and we went from York to Chatsworth, a mere hour-and-a-half drive, or around 83 miles. Remind me not to say no to a visit to Chatsworth again. A daft notion. Shame on me. Shame on me. When asked the question of, do you want to go to Chatsworth? The answer is yes. Emphatically yes. Do not consider a no. And if you ask me if I want to go to any of these stately homes and I say no, just don't listen to me and take me anyway. Just honestly, what was I thinking? Anyways. Fun fact about Chatsworth and the Cavendish family. Cavendish bananas were named after William Cavendish, the 6th Duke of Devonshire, around 1834. They received a shipment of bananas from the Earls of Shrewsbury, and the head gardener of Chatsworth cultivated them in the greenhouses at Chatsworth House, and in the 1580s the bananas grown at Chatsworth were shipped to various places in the Pacific, and this type of banana became known as the Cavendish banana. So there you are. The more you know. This is the library. Very lovely library. I would love to go and hang out in the library for the day. And the ceiling of the dining room. It's all different flower shapes, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken. Dining room table, all set and ready to go. I think they had a funny chair exhibition on at the time. That's why the chairs are rather not in keeping with the general aesthetic of the room. Some fabulous tassels. A bit of the gardens. I didn't take as many pictures of the gardens as I could have. But hey ho, it is what it is. We actually, I think, wanted to kind of get out of the gardens a bit so we could make our way to Hardwick Hall and enjoy Hardwick Hall. Water lilies. I do like a water lily. I rather like a water lily.
It's one way. The equally good news is they don't get as many people as Chatsworth. Oh, they've got the corn off, haven't they? I'm glad we're doing this because when I asked you if there was anything you wanted to do this time, you said you'd quite like to go to Hardwick Hall. So that's good.
Along here, and I'm doing 20 because I got the cruise control set to 20, but the man behind me is gaining on me.
I'll just do it on
Long Hardwick House?
Or are they his ears?
I think they're short, aren't we, Wes? We're not certainly not long. I mean, cows do please.
Oh, look, Ash.
Yeah.
Look,
Excuse me, Mook House.
you'll have to slow down. Cows on road. Because you never know which way it might jump.
It looks baffled.
Hello.
Oh, did I need to open the window and you get a kiss?
No thanks.
Do you want to get a Mook House kiss?
No thanks.
We get for dark tanning.
Now
membership cards ready. So I don't think we are members here, are we? All visitors, coach drop-off, park charges, members free.
Hello. Now, Hardwick's not part of HHA, is it? Historic
No.
Houses. Okay. So we need £5.
Yes, please.
It's 3.
Oh, I might have do you have some? I don't think so. We're from Canada, so we're struggling a bit.
Oh, right, okay, don't worry.
There we
So
are.
how long are you over here for?
2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you some information about National Trust membership. I don't
For
know,
sure.
you can have a look at the map inside, seeing whether you get any use out of it.
Okay.
The other thing it's worth thinking about in future, if you're over, you could get an overseas visitors pass for 1 or 2 weeks for
Uh-huh.
the National Trust, and you could see whether you thought that would. I'm not sure of prices, it's all online.
Sure.
But that's
Okay, good.
something to think about.
Thank you very
Go
much.
round to the left for the car park.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Okay, hope you enjoy it.
Thank you.
Bye.
Accepting for these guys, I guess. And then do they have to walk? Two-way traffic?
Horsepower man with dog traffic.
I don't know. Oh, crikey, crikey. What? That's extraordinary.
Alright, having finished at Chatsworth, a mere 20 miles away, we end up at Hardwick Hall. Bess of Hardwick was a formidable woman. She outlived about 4 husbands and was the second richest woman next to Queen Elizabeth I. Hardwick acquired Chatsworth House through her second marriage to Sir William Cavendish. They sold his lands and the build was finished in 1560. The Chatsworth we know today has changed several times, but parts that remain, such as the hunting tower, was built in 1582 and still remains. New Hardwick Hall was built between 1590 and 1597 and is known for its huge windows. Each story of the house has a higher level than the one before it, indicating the grandest of the rooms are at the top of the house because they have the highest ceilings. And you will note the ES along the top of the house, which indicates her ownership, Elizabeth Shrewsbury. Old Hardwick Hall was where Bess was born and returned when she separated from her third husband, and she was expanding the house at the time, but also planning the new house a very short distance away. The ruins were left, I believe, because it was fashionable at the time to have ruins, so the old hall was kept as part of the ambiance. But at the time, the new hall was used to make a statement and for entertaining, whereas the old hall was lived in. But eventually, when Chatsworth was where they lived permanently, the old one was left to decay, and by 1601 and her death she owned Chatsworth House, Hardwick Hall and Wingfield Manor. Then we drive back to York, a short jaunt of 70 miles, and pass on the way Wentworth Woodhouse. The house is undergoing some restoration, so the picture I took has got much scaffolding along the front. And then I downloaded a picture for you all, but from what I understand, it was undergoing some restoration because it was sinking. Don't quote me on that. I'll have to double check that. And then a quick night out on the tiles to the Shambles at night in York, and then the Guy Fawkes pub where we met up with some lads from Manchester that were on a stag do. And then at the second pub, the stag do reappeared, and we ended up on the stag do for a little bit, and then another pub, and then a little walk through the middle of the York in the dark, and a short walk back to the car after getting heckled by the stag do in the streets. I do recommend getting adopted by a stag do if you can manage it. It was rather fun. I do say it was rather fun. Although be careful out there, you never know who you're meeting up with, so don't just talk to anybody. Anyways, have a good night, and I'll see you in the next one.